The following is a short video that goes over how drawers are used within Counterpoint. Drawers are used to keep track of what happens in individual point of sale station. The starting point for looking at drawer management is to go to Drawer Management. This can be found in Point of Sale, Drawers, and it's the furthest right button on my screen. It's not a terrible idea to check the star and make that a favorite, especially if this is something you do on a regular basis. Now, I'll show you in Drawer Management that currently for my main store, all of my drawers are inactive. Now, at the start of my day, I do not need to go to Drawer Management. I can simply go to Touchscreen, and I can choose my drawer and station and click OK. Since the drawer is inactive, I will get a prompt asking me if I'd like to auto-activate the drawer, which will start the drawer at $0, or I can choose to manually activate. My customers are probably 50-50 split between whether they start at $0 or if they start with a existing amount, especially if you have, let's say, $200 change in your drawer. I can click Activate Drawer and I can put that starting amount. There is a utility called Count Cash Units. If you just want to be able to say, I've got 25 pennies and I've got 12 nickels, etc., fill in your bills, fill in your rolls, and Counterpoint will come up with your starting amount. You don't have to use this utility. It's really just a convenience. If you know your starting amount, you can type it in here and say OK. That opens the drawer, and now this drawer is open for the day, and I can begin ringing tickets. And for my example, I'm just going to put a few items on here quickly so I can ring up a sale or two. I'll pay this first one, I will pay cash. And I will just do one more ticket so we can have an example of payments with both cash and check. So we'll pay that. And so now I've taken some payment in cash and check. I'm going to leave Point of Sale, and at the end of the day, I'll go back to Drawer Management. I will highlight the drawer, and I have a couple of choices here. I might go to Count, which is a blind count. It'll ask me for my cash and check totals. Or I might choose to go directly to a step called Reconcile. And with Reconcile, I am still entering my amounts, but in this case, it's also telling me what's expected. So in my example, $257 was expected. Maybe this just slightly off. Maybe I have $256.99. And maybe my checks are spot on, and it looks kind of like this. And you can see down at the bottom, I might have an overshort. If this was too big of an overshort, maybe it's time to go back and check the drawer. Maybe I do. Maybe it turns out it's a little closer than I thought. And maybe this really was 257.83. And maybe I'm missing 2 cents somewhere, but that's close enough for today. At this point, the drawer is in a state called reconciled. Now, we as LPA can set up your nightly posting to happen automatically at night, or you might choose to just do this as part of your closing steps. If you are doing the posting yourself, you would highlight the drawer, you would click Post, and you'll notice there's a checkbox for Use Ticket Date. We are a big fan of using that checkbox. Believe it or not, it's awfully easy to get a typo in that posting date. Why not use ticket date? It's going to be the correct date and save you just a little bit of entry. I will go ahead and click Post. This says processing complete with no errors. I can choose to see the ticket journal. I don't have to. I could see a drawer summary, and that takes care of posting. In my tickets, if I wanted to see during the day, I could go to Point of Sale Tickets. There's something called the Edit List, and if I preview this will show me activity in my drawers as the day is progressing. Currently, I don't have any activity, so if I preview this, I'm just looking at my main store. At this time, I don't have any activity. It looks like this. But if I did have active sessions, I would see that. I can also look at my ticket edit list after the fact, and this is found under Point of Sale, Reports, History. In this case, it's called Drawer History. And I'll show you an example of this Today I will look at, I know I had some transactions today, so this should be a good example. On the event tab, I can filter for the date. So I will filter for today's date. I am interested in store main. I'm interested in all the drawers. And with my checked boxes, you can play around with this, but in this case, I can see drawer totals and store totals. I'll go ahead and preview this. And this is a good report for the end of the day to see what came in. On the right side is a breakout of the tenders, and on the left is how the money came in. So that's just a very brief example of looking at the cycle of drawers in Counterpoint, and two reports. One is the edit list, which will show you what's happening during the day, and then there's also drawer history. I should also mention that under point of sale drawers, there's also drawer reading. Drawer reading is very similar to drawer history, and again, this would show you what's happening today. And currently for my store, I don't have activity, but that would show you what's happening. One last thing to see, if I go back to my point of sale drawer management, you'll notice that all those drawers are now inactive because I've wrapped those up for the day, and they're all set for tomorrow morning. The first person to come in, go into point of sale, and get prompted to activate their drawer. That is just a brief overview of the cycle of drawers in Counterpoint. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out to us at lparetail.com.